Good morning to everyone. So yes, I think the practice session was a little choppy because my Zoom connection was patchy. Anyway, now we are looking at statement 11. Statement 11 is a little mysterious, I think. And looking at this commentary we have here by Khenpo Kunpal, I think it doesn't really reflect the point that Jigten Sumgon is making in this statement. Yeah. So anyway, let's look at the statement first. And so this statement says, Jigten Sumgon maintains that the Vajra body is a profound cycle. Jigten Sumgon maintains that the Vajra body is a profound cycle. And so even this translation is a little hard. And I think because it's a little mysterious, what this statement is. So let me give you some other translation. Another translation says, the Vajra body is described as the profound view, the profound wheel, like profound chakra wheel. So chakra can have a lot of meanings, okay? Here I would say this chakra is referring to the turning of the wheels of Dharma. Remember the 3 turnings of the wheel, which is the title of one of the chapters? The very first chapter is called the 3 turnings of the wheel of Dharma. So this chakra, profound wheel, I believe is related to the turning of the wheels of Dharma. And so, and then another translation is the original state of the Vajra body is the profound wheel. The original state of the Vajra body is the profound wheel. So this translation is actually a translation of a slightly differently given statement. So basically you could say, right, let's identify all the different parts of this statement. So Vajra body, Dorje Lu, so that's one. Then profound, Zapmo, and profound qualifies the wheel, Korlo. So profound wheel, or wheel of the profound, is one important part of this statement. And Vajra body, Dorje Lu, is another important part of this statement. So these are the 2 parts, and it's equating basically these 2. So the Vajra body is the profound wheel. If you translate this in a very, just looking at the bare skeletons, it's basically Vajra body is profound wheel. Vajra body is profound wheel. Okay? Profound wheel. Or the profound turning of the wheel. You could also say that. So let's first look at the commentary here, provided by Khenpo Kunpal. Here it says, in the system of Vajrayana, the term Vajra is added to all phenomena. And so he points out that, in Vajrayana, many things you would add this qualifier, Vajra, like Vajra songs, Vajra master, Vajra disciples, Vajra realm, Vajra dhatu, Vajra this, Vajra that, and then Vajra hell. Yeah. So Vajra, this qualifier, turns up. In fact, Khenpo Kunpal says, in fact, you could say it's added to all phenomena, which means that they are a unified play of methods and wisdom. Concerning this, it is said in the Vajra Tantra, it is solid, essential, and not hollow, cannot be cut or destroyed, cannot be burned, and does not disintegrate. Therefore, emptiness is called Vajra. So here, Khenpo Kunpal's commentary is helpful. Up until here, he says, so the real meaning of Vajra is emptiness. When it says it is translated here as it is solid, I don't think it's solid. I mean, or rather, that word English solid. Emptiness is solid. I think more. I've seen other translations. They say durable. It's durable. It has about the same meaning, but not as solid as solid. Like this table solid. It's a little weird to say emptiness is solid, but emptiness is durable. So here, therefore, emptiness is called Vajra. So here, when Vajra is added to all sorts of things, Vajra this, Vajra that, Vajra this, Vajra that. In other words, it is a Vajrayana style to use the word Vajra to communicate emptiness. The emptiness aspect of things is represented by this Vajra, this word Vajra. So likewise, the great non-dual wisdom that cannot be broken or destroyed, and so forth, is called Vajra. So the wisdom that realizes emptiness, that realizes the non-dual nature of appearance and emptiness, non-dual, appearance and emptiness being non-dual, being not two, that they are always like that. So in Mahamudra, we call it co-emergent or innate, meaning this emptiness state is always innate, always present. Whenever form turns up, emptiness is right there. They are not two separate things. Like in order to get form, you don't have to get rid of this emptiness. In order for emptiness to be there, you don't need to get rid of form. They are co-emergent. They are non-dual. So this is the meaning of Vajra. Then continuing, and so what we call the Vajra body has the same nature. So what is Vajra body? Vajra body is that subtle body, right? We talked about that a little already. There is the physical body, then there is the mind, then the bridge that bridges these two, that connects these two, is what's known sometimes in modern translations, modern literature. Sometimes it's called the subtle body. And this subtle body is an energetic body. But in Vajrayana material, it's called a Vajra body. And so in this statement, remember, it says Vajra body is profound wheel. Right? So what is profound wheel then? Profound wheel are the teachings on emptiness. Well, in the chapter on the three turnings of the wheel of Dharma, the second turning of wheel of Dharma is the turning of the wheel of Dharma, whereby the Buddha, clearly, without any kind of indirect way, directly taught the nature of all phenomena to be empty. So the statement then that the Vajra body is the profound wheel the profound cycle, is saying that the true nature of this Vajra body is emptiness. In fact, in other commentaries, we get more context why Jigten Sumgon made this statement. That the nature of this Vajra body is what is taught in the profound turning of the wheel, which is the topic of emptiness. So in this larger commentary, it says people claim that the nature of the Vajra body, or the original nature of the Vajra body, is the channels, winds, and drops. And that if you can kind of feel and therefore work with and therefore manipulate this system of energy, the system that involves, right, the movement of the winds in the channels in 72,000 branches, that can be kind of compacted into the 3 channels, central channel, left, right, and the 21,000 types of winds that travel through these channels. And as the winds travel, they move the bindus, the essential drops, which is the white and the red bodhicittas, all of that. So some people say, if you can, begin to train until you can feel this internal kind of energetic body, then you understand the Vajra body. Yeah, but Kyobpa says no. Actually, it's when you understand the emptiness nature of this Vajra body that you truly see its natural state. In other words, it's not, about getting all excited over, oh, I could feel the movement of this energy. I can feel the movement of that energy. Very common, in Vajrayana circles. I feel this heat inside me. What is going on, Rinpoche? Oh, Lama, I feel this movement, this, that. Kyobpa says, that's just an aspect of the Vajra body that is far from the natural state of the Vajra body. The natural state of the Vajra body is the emptiness of the Vajra body. So in another commentary it says, so even though the nature, the at least you could say an aspect or the so-called natures of the Vajra body is the channels, winds, and drops, but why these channel, winds, and drops are called Vajra is a reminder, emptiness. So Jigten Sumgon considers the profound Vajra body to be, what is profound about the Vajra body is the nature of emptiness of the Vajra body. And also the wheels to be the nature of the emptiness arising as the appearances of the Idam deities. And then the ability to arise, to self-create as the Idam deity is when the Vajra body is actually, you could say, manifested. This commentary we're reading here, the second part is a little, it says the Vajra body has this same nature, which is the nature of emptiness. And the reality of its channels, energies, winds, and essential drops is timelessly and spontaneously, meaning spontaneously here naturally, the Vajra body, Vajra speech, and Vajra mind of all the victorious ones of, and the nature of the three kayas. Jigten Sumgon and the general Vajrayana maintain that it is an uninterrupted profound cycle that abides timelessly. So this needs a footnote to help understand, which is the uninterrupted unity of appearance and emptiness. Then in another old commentary, it says the uninterrupted unity of appearance and emptiness. In other words, karmic causality. Emptiness is none other than the efficient and unmistaken working of karmic causality. So the sense that I'm getting from this Vajra statement here is Kyobpa's reminder again and again and again and again, don't get carried away by all this energy stuff, a movement of energy, channeling energy, harnessing energy, forcing the energy to enter into the central channel. I'm feeling heat, I'm feeling tummo, inner heat is building up, I feel bliss all over my body. And he says, all those things, yes, they have their rightful places. They are kind of things that manifest, as your practice becomes more intense and all of that. But in the midst of all of those experiences arising, if you do not know the nature of these experiences, and if you do not know how to apply this knowledge of this nature onto what you experience, then they're not useful at all. And they're not useful at all. Knowing how to apply the understanding of the nature of what is being experienced is very important. And first, knowing is important. Knowing the nature of what we are experiencing is important. Then, knowing how to apply that knowledge is the next challenge. But the first challenge is knowing the nature of what is being experienced. So even if we experience the Vajra body in the way people normally talk about it, the channels, the chakras, this chakra is opening, I feel this, that, this energy is moving through, even if in fact those things are going on, I'm not saying that they're not going on, you're just like, imagining, which is another set of problems. But lay aside that problem, that in fact, yes, somehow the energies are gathering and they're moving through these channels. And so you're having all these experiences. But if you don't understand the nature of these experiences to be emptiness, and through karmic causality interdependence, then it's moving in a particular way. If you don't understand that, then you get carried away by the special, mystical, you might want to say mystical, fantastic experiences that are going on. And then you get misled by your own experiences, and not some evil being out there trying to mislead you. Your own confusion will mislead you. That even these energy, these winds entering the central channel comes as a result of our karma. And therefore we have to create conducive causes causes of virtue and not causes of suffering, so that the result of virtue can converge to support our practice. Otherwise, the results of virtue, even though the results of virtue always produces pleasant experiences, pleasant circumstances, pleasant experiences and pleasant circumstances can still be distorted into a cause of suffering. Yeah, how many times have we experienced good things only to turn that into the ground for growing a later suffering? Yes, Judy?
So this statement, does it not tell us that everything we experience, whether it's a spiritual effect of or result, or whether it's something mundane, if we understand it from the standpoint of emptiness and cause and effect, there's a greater understanding and ability to know what to do with those things.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think that's as far as I can go right now.
Yes. Well, that's what it says.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So not just knowing the nature of what is being experienced, but then also knowing how to make use of that knowledge. How to make use of that knowledge? To do what? To clear the mental defilements so that Buddha qualities can arise, can manifest. But specific to this statement is the context. The context of this statement, again, is, there are people who practice these subtle body, these Vajra body practices, especially in the collection of practices called the 6 Dharma, 6 yogas of Naropa, where there's practice of tummo, practice of, moving the energy, using these exercises. You can go on YouTube and look for them, actually. Very impressive, actually, physically. But these have a lot of, even now, the way it's done is just physical exercises, So if you have a fairly young body, flexible body, you can, learn these feats. Now even Tibetan teachers are teaching this more and more openly. And of course, people will start having these experiences. But if we don't know, and understand the nature of these experiences, it can kind of mislead. So again, in this larger commentary, it says, it's in response to people saying that the original nature of the Vajra body is these channels, winds, vital essences, drops. And then following from that, these same people who says, and therefore, if you're able to train yourself to experience these things, then you have like a very profound, you have arrived at a very profound level. Kyobpa Rinpoche would say, yeah, maybe it's profound, but you still have to keep going. Keep going to do what? Keep going to understanding the emptiness and appearance is unified. So here, using Professor Zobich's notes, let me read you some parts here. To summarize, Rinchen Chanchuk points out that it is not true that, quote, directly perceiving the channels, winds, and vital essences make manifest the original state of the Vajra body. Yeah. Rinchen Chanchup's commentary is one of the earliest commentary on Gongchik, done by one of Kyobpa Rinpoche's disciples. And he says, people who say, if you can directly, kind of like using your psychic eye, so to say, you train in this Vajra body practices so well that you can even see, like with an X-ray, this Vajra body underneath this physical body. But he says, it is not true that directly perceiving the channels, winds, and vital essences is what manifests the original state, is what is directly perceiving that you will see the natural state, the original state of the Vajra body. He says it's not true. Instead, it is maintained by Jigten Sumgon that the manifestation of this unchangeable natural state of this Vajra body is shown when you see the non-duality of all phenomena. And non-duality of what? Of profound emptiness and cause and effect. The non-duality of emptiness and cause and effect. Being not two. That is the true natural state of the Vajra body. In other words, also, then the winds, the drops, and the channels, and then the channels, then the chakras are the nodes on the channel, is where the channels branch out. Those are called the chakras, like a wheel. These spokes branch out. That's why they're called chakras. So in fact, these channels with the wheels, with the chakras branching out, and subtle energy called winds that move through these channels, and then in moving push along these essential drops, these vital essences. In fact, those are the appearance aspect of the Vajra body. They are only the appearance aspect. Do you see what he's saying here? So they are only one side. The other side of that is the emptiness. Only when you understand the non-duality of the appearance of this Vajra body as channels, winds, and drops. Only when you understand that appearance is inseparable from the emptiness of that, only then do you fully see the natural state of this Vajra body. Simply seeing, experiencing the channels, winds, and drops, even if you could directly have a vision of them, that's still just getting stuck in appearances. Their emptiness nature have to be also realized. Unlike this physical body, seeing and experiencing the subtle body is a lot harder. A lot harder. Most of us don't experience, therefore don't see that body. So then if through certain instructions, certain practices, we begin to experience that body, so to say, see that body, and then we get very excited. Oh, this must be real, this must be real. Uh-oh. In practical terms, I have people, who have read too much, which is all of us. Read too much about this Mahasiddha did this, that, this, these people experienced that, then they have all kinds of ideas about, their practice and what they should experience. Then, naturally, our day-to-day life and may or may not have to do with your practice. Things go up and down. But because you're now doing this, you become extra, you could say, sensitive to things changing. Then when things change, you get all moved and excited. Not just excited in a desirable way. You also get excited in a negative way, you're getting paranoid. Oh, maybe I'm not doing this practice right. Oh, maybe this is going wrong. Or oh, this is great. I'm about to see the deities. I have people coming to me, wanting me to tell them, oh, it's okay. Or wanting me to tell them, oh, it's really good. But no, it's just relax. Just remain present and see how all those experiences, they are illusory. Illusory. Sometimes it's just through interdependence, physical things are going on, happening. Just just let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. You're not even you're not even deliberately doing it. It's just happening. Just watch it happen, let it happen. Just don't get hooked. Don't get hooked. That's the key point. So when we say seeing its non-dual nature, appearance and emptiness, means don't get hooked. Also, no need to run from it, afraid of the appearance. If we're afraid of the appearance, that means we don't understand its nature, which is empty. If we chase after the appearance, it also shows we don't understand its nature, which is empty. Then the third mistake is to become dull and dead to the experience. And thinking that, oh, that's equanimity, but that's also not. That's a more subtle problem. Either we are afraid, either we chase after. Those are the two most common response to these special experiences. Then the third one is closely related to the actual solution, the actual response to these experiences arising, which is to see that they are appearance and emptiness and not to be moved. So that's the right way. But the wrong way is thinking, oh, I should just not pay attention. And then you kind of no awareness, you kind of passively there, or you numb yourself so that you don't feel it. That's a subtle fault. Anyway, no need to talk too much about this, because maybe some of you, never occurred to you, you should get excited about these things. Now you think, oh wait, am I supposed to get excited? Maybe some of you, never so sensitized to these experiences. You're like, oh, maybe something is wrong. And now then we have created a problem by talking about it. The next point, point 12, I think is straightforward enough. We can cover that. Point 12 here is some topics are hidden by Vajradhara. Vajradhara being the primordial Buddha. The primordial Buddha, Vajradhara, has concealed, has hidden certain details certain details. Why? Why has Vajradhara done that? The primordial Buddha, meaning the primordial guide, right? When we say Vajradhara is the primordial Buddha, it not only means the one who is primordially awake from the beginning, free from confusion, but the other kind of key characteristic of a Buddha is not only someone who is awake, him or herself, but awake in such a way that they serve as guides, completely reliable guides to others. So when we say then the primordial Buddha, who is primordially awake and primordially guiding, why would the primordially guiding and awake Buddha hide and conceal certain things? Yeah. Why? So we'll look at that why. Khenpo Kunpal gives a good explanation there. But this statement by Jigten Sumgon, it was said in response to, right? All these statements are usually said in response to some of his students or reporting that, oh, we heard it's like this, we heard it's like that, we heard that teacher saying it's like this, we heard that teacher saying it's like that. Yeah, so it's always in response to these statements that then Jigten Sumgon makes these Vajra statements. So what is this in response to? It's in response to people claim that the ultimate state of the channels, winds, and drops is exactly as it is explained in the Tantras. In other words, some people, it makes sense, understandable. They say, well, you want to know about these things? They are exactly described in the Tantras. Everything is clearly there. In other words, if you master all the different tantric systems in terms of studying, comparing the different tantras, all of that, then it becomes clear. Jigten Sumgon says, no. As important as these tantras are, as important as these authentic tantric texts are, there are still a lot of things that Vajradhara did not reveal in these texts. Instead, where are you going to get these details? From the Vajra master, who him or herself has received from him or her Vajra master, and so on and so forth. And then through that instruction, through that guidance, we ourselves experience. Then what is hidden becomes comes into view, no longer hidden. So here 512 Khenpo Kunpal says, furthermore, regarding the profound meaning that has been taught, which is that some profound topics were hidden by Vajradhara, who out of compassion mixed up the tantras, twisted the words, and concealed pith instructions for the following two purposes. In fact, it's saying Vajradhara, the primordial Buddha, mixed up the tantras deliberately, for two purposes. One, to avoid the faults of pretentious, unfit persons with wrong views who exaggerate or denigrate, either make big or make small the teachings, and who have only seen a text and then teach the practices to others, whereby they distort the manner of secret mantra and confuse the key points of the pith instructions. In other words, you cannot just pick up a tantra and decide, I'm going to read this, and this is what it means, and I'm now going to go teach other people. Preventing that. 2, to enable the disciple to gain realization based on pleasing an experienced Vajra master who is endowed with the blessings of a transmission lineage, of the profound tantra, scriptures, and pith instructions. For these reasons, one should abandon self-fabrications and arrogance, the first reason for concealing, and correctly follow a Vajra master who is learned and accomplished, meaning has learned about this and has practiced and experienced this. We have to rely on someone like that, pleasing and experienced Vajra master. So here, in our lineage especially, we always footnote what it means to please the Vajra master. 368. Pleasing a spiritual teacher should be done, for example, in the 3 ways that Khenpo taught. Through respect and service, through devotion and reverence, and through practice and persistence. Okay, this is not the footnote I want. This is still general. But in Drikung, in Jigten Sumgon, Drikung is more than Jigten Sumgon. Drikung has a lot of other things as well. For 800 years, many things have been added to Drikung tradition. But for Jigten Sumgon, he always, when he has a chance, because this is a phrase that comes from like Vajra Tantra and places like that, it says, the ultimate guru devotion, the ultimate pleasing of the guru, the ultimate offering or sacrifice that you make to the guru is what? Is perceiving the guru as Dharmakaya. In other words, understanding that your ultimate guide is the unchanging reality state. That is the ultimate guru. So in other words, if you can see and experience your human guru as Dharmakaya, and here, it doesn't mean, it doesn't have to mean like literally that human teacher of yours is like a perfect Nirmanakaya like Buddha Shakyamuni. We're not exactly saying that. But what we are saying is, can you see that his or her nature is Dharmakaya? And that when you learn and you are trained by this person, it's that aspect that you're learning and training. So Jigten Sumgon says, your guru will become greater and greater as your own qualities increase higher and higher. This is the interdependence. So in order to give the ultimate service or sacrifice to the guru, it is not through simply, oh, guru, oh, you like to play video games? I'll play video games with you. Oh, guru, you like to, I don't know, do gardening? Oh, let me get all the best garden tools for you and I'll garden with you. Oh, guru, even worse, you like to gamble in the casino? Oh, everything my guru does is pure. So let me, get a VIP room and gamble with you. That is not ultimate guru service. That is good for charlatan guru business, but it's not ultimate guru service, not ultimate guru devotion. It's still working on clearing our own mental defilements. The more we clear our mental defilements, the more we can experience and perceive the good qualities of our guru. And in a way that, even you could say, even if the guru is not yet, so realize, your perceiving of them in that way forces them to become good. That's how you should serve the guru, not enabling the guru's problems. Neither should you be, constantly like folding your hands to the guru. Hey, I don't think you should behave like this. Hey, I don't think that is appropriate. And then that person cannot be your guru. You should go, don't waste your time with someone like that. But at the same time, if you have found someone that you feel, confident enough, comfortable enough to accept as guru, you should also, think, the more I remove my own mental defilements, my own confusion, the more of the good qualities of my teacher I will see. And in seeing and relating to my teacher with all these good qualities, I will also, in a good way, force the teacher to become these good qualities that I'm seeing. I think it's comparable, not that I know anything about it, but I think it's comparable to like the challenge of like raising kids, It's comparable to that. Right? You could raise kids by putting them down, And of course, that's probably very harmful. Not 100%. Sometimes certain kids, you put them down, they have such determination, You're like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Then they'll be so successful, Everybody tells them, you will amount to nothing. Wow. But generally, if you put a child down, you probably have harmed them, right? Now, the opposite of that. You are so great, you are so great, you are so good. You will also destroy them, probably. But that delicate balance of like, you are great. I see this greatness in you. And with genuine, with genuinely seeing that, they turn out great, I think in some ways the guru-student this relationship on both sides is like that. It's like that on both sides. So that the parent becomes a better parent because the child has become a better child, and the child becomes a better child because the parent has become a better parent. So it's that kind of interdependence, students and teachers. And most of all, hold all of that with love. That's the key ingredient, Then as you train pure perception of guru, it cannot be like, again, the wrong way of parenting of indulging and enabling the child. Oh, pure, you are perfect. You are the best. Then also you destroy, right? The child. How many indulgent parents have actually ended up harming their children? Not easy, right? Any of you who have gone through the hard part of raising kids will understand. It's not easy. No clear handbook, where that line is. Likewise, guru-student relationship, also like that. Okay, good. Today we end here. Okay. Now, the Jigten Sumgon's dedication prayer. Sublime, precious, venerable, and glorious root and lineage gurus, assembly of Idam deities, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas dwelling in the 10 directions, and all assemblies of Viras, Viranis, Yoginis, and Dakinis, please heed me. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and the inherent root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly dharmas, the 4 causes of samsara, and the resultant states of hearers and solitary realizers, and may all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, particularly those enemies who hate us, obstruct us, who harm those who create obstacles, Maras who mislead, and their Mara retinues have happiness, be separated from suffering, and quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, and precious bodhicitta by the power of this vast root of virtue. May we benefit sentient beings with body, speech, and mind. May the afflictive thoughts of attachment, aversion, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise in my mind stream. May thoughts of name, fame, gain, respect, and so forth in this life not arise for even a moment. With my mind stream moistened by love, compassion, and bodhicitta, may I come under the care of virtuous spiritual friends, and having become as limitless as space, may I achieve the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life, by the virtues collected in the 3 times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. And one quick, so I'm reminded of one example of a teacher-student relationship. So it is said that Atisha, in terms of Atisha's understanding of like the profound view, it's said that he was very good at that. But then the main teacher who taught him and really changed him, he says, in terms of how to train in relative bodhicitta. Relative bodhicitta being, right, through the force of love and compassion, committing yourself to awakening as Buddhas for the benefit of beings. Atisha said, of all his teachers, no one was kinder to him than this Indonesian master that he traveled to Indonesia to train with for like 12 years. It said that each time Atisha talked about him when he was in Tibet teaching his students, he would cry. But we are also told that this Indonesian master, in terms of his view, he subscribes to, he can only have a philosophical view. He held a philosophical view, an understanding of emptiness that is inferior to that of Atisha. But Atisha did not look down on this Indonesian master. At the same time, it is said that Atisha also very sincerely worked on helping this teacher arrive at this more profound view of emptiness while serving the teacher as a student. So it's so interesting there. You know, sometimes too much emphasis in like Vajrayana circles. Oh, Guru is perfect. Guru is perfect. You cannot see any faults in the Guru. You cannot see any faults in the Guru. Yes, that is true. That is saying don't spend your precious time finding faults. In fact, not just the Guru, anywhere, anyone, anything. If you occupy yourself with finding faults, there's no end to you finding faults. Why? Because beauty is in the eye of the perceiver. So ugliness is also in the eye of the perceiver. There is no end to that. So don't do that, they say. But it also doesn't mean you're blind to, you have to be blind to. What you can see is, yeah, that he can still improve on that, or she can still improve on that. So Atisha clearly saw that this great master who so touched his heart, still have this, right? This lower view. So patiently, Atisha kept engaging the teacher on this subject whenever it's appropriate. So, Guru, this emptiness that you have, let's talk about this. Maybe sometimes even the teacher gets annoyed. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know. The text doesn't say, the history doesn't say that. But you can imagine, even the teacher says, okay. But it said that eventually Atisha also, right, was able to help his teacher to have a more profound view. So some of us, may have the condition of having learned more now, more understanding, so that the teacher that we start with, who brought us into the door, we might feel like, they don't know much. Actually, now I have found someone who knows more, But don't like, oh, now I give up that teacher. I have to remember the kindness of that. But it also doesn't mean, So Atisha did not say, oh, now this great Indonesian Lama I have, So everything he does, I follow now. Even when no, there is a more clear view. There's a more clear way of talking about this. There's a more clear way to understand this issue. And that this great teacher of mine, he's still fuzzy on that. Atisha also did not say, oh, no, that's pure, right? So these kinds of specific examples, I think, really help us to figure out how to negotiate this raising a child and raising a parent. We talk about raising a child, but really, it's raising a child and raising a parent. It's interdependent. Remember that story, right? The school teacher said, how old is your father? Asking this 3-4-year-old kid. 3-4-year-old kid says, 4. No, I asked you, how old is your father? Not how old is you. The child said, 4. Teacher said, how's that possible? The child said, yeah, well, I'm only 4. Before I was born, he was not a father. So you ask me about my father. My father is 4. Right? So your teacher is as old as students have turned up. Prior to that, your teacher was a student. But all that experience as a student, of course, goes into informing how well he or she will be able to help by being a teacher. But nonetheless, the teacher is as old as the student. So it's really, the parent is as old as the child from that perspective. So that they are raising each other. So there's good interdependence, there's good motivation, good attitude, love that hold this together. Even when mistakes are made, those mistakes will not be damaging. I feel that way, about my parents, I think I was very fortunate. Even though mistakes are made, because the vessel is love. And I can see mistakes, and God knows they can see my mistakes, but the vessel is love. Then even when mistakes are made, no big harm came up, As far as I can tell, I don't think I'm damaged. Same, in teacher-student relationship. Okay, enough.